All right, let's talk about building a philosophy. But forget about dusting off some ancient, heavy text. Today, we're piecing one together from a collection of thoughts that are, well, they're strange, they're funny, and they're surprisingly profound. This is what we're calling the architecture of being, kind of like a guide for modern life, built one curious observation at a time.
So, this is our jumping off point? Seriously, what if it is? This is an invitation to just set aside what you think you know and join me on this little journey of discovery. It's all about seeing the world you walk through every day with completely fresh eyes.
Okay, first things first, we've got to adopt a new lens, a peculiar point of view. This is how we start to spot the extraordinary in the totally ordinary and question the weird, hidden machinery of everyday life. See, this way of thinking doesn't start with some grand, sweeping theory. Nope. It starts with these wonderfully strange and weirdly confident declarations. It's about finding this epic personal triumph in something as simple as making a pizza that is just unbelievably good. And it's also about finding this deep appreciation for the mundane. I mean, honestly, when was the last time you stopped and thought, man, elbows, what a great idea? This perspective celebrates the simple, effective designs all around us and inside us that we just completely take for granted. And this is where it gets really fun. This mindset has you constantly questioning the absurd realities that are just humming beneath the surface of everything. You see a badger hair shaving brush and your brain just has to go there. Wait a second. Is there a whole hidden economy of professional badger barbers? So, what's the big takeaway from pizzas, elbows, and badgers? Well, it's this: learning to see the outside world with this kind of peculiar, observant eye. That's the very first step to transforming our inner world. Curiosity isn't just a personality trait, it's a skill, a fundamental skill for living. So let's see how this all builds into a really powerful approach to personal growth. Because once you start questioning the world around you, it's only natural that the next step is to start questioning the limits you've set for yourself. This philosophy goes right after that little voice of doubt. You know the one. It calls out, I can't, for what it so often is. Not a fact, but a quiet little lie we tell ourselves to stay comfortable, to avoid the scary feeling of pushing beyond what we already know how to do. In this slide, this makes such a powerful distinction. Unearned humility is basically just fear wearing a costume. But earned humility, that is something else entirely. That comes from the real, boots-on-the-ground experience of trying your absolute best at something you are bad at. That's where real self-awareness kicks in. And you see, it's not just some vague idea. It's a practical, three-step process. The focus isn't on whether you'll succeed. It's on the action itself. The outcome is earned, whether that outcome is getting better or just gaining that genuine humility. The process itself is the win. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Pushing yourself to the absolute brink doesn't just show you your strengths, it shows you profound truths about your weaknesses, your potential, and who you really are in a way that staying comfortable never, ever will. Okay, let's zoom out. We've looked inward. Now, how does this mindset apply to the complex, chaotic systems of society and information that we all have to deal with every single day? At the very heart of this worldview is a fundamental acceptance that, you know what? Reality is messy. Our attempts to create perfect, permanent order, they're like poking water. The system just flows right back around whatever we do. Real wisdom is about understanding that, not fighting it. So that brings us to a really practical model for handling one of the biggest sources of chaos out there today: political division. How do you stay centered when it feels like everything is trying to pull you to one extreme or the other? Well, this model sees political forces almost like feedback loops. One side sees a problem and yanks the wheel hard in one direction to fix it. But in doing so, they risk driving all of us straight into the left ditch. And in response, the other side sees the car veering towards that left ditch, so they grab the wheel and pull just as hard in the opposite direction, which of course puts us at risk of landing in the right ditch. Both are trying to correct, but together they create this dangerous back and forth. So what's the wisest move for you, the individual? It's not to pick a ditch. It's not to help pull the wheel. It's to hit the brakes. To just pause, resist the pull from either side, and get your own bearings before you decide what to do next. It's a call for perspective over just partisan reflex. And what is the biggest threat to finding that perspective? This framework is crystal clear about it: lies. They're not just harmless mistakes, they are attacks. They literally vandalize the mental infrastructure that we all need to think clearly. And this all brings us to our final section. After observing the world and challenging ourselves and navigating all the chaos, it all comes back to the one thing we really have control over: the architecture of our own character. Now, I want you to really think about this for a second. Your political opinion, statistically, has an almost 0% impact on the world, but it has a 100% impact on the kind of person you are becoming. Our words, they aren't just passive things that describe what we believe. They are active tools. They are the bricks and mortar we are using every day, every sentence to build our own character. And this chart just lays it out so clearly. There's a hierarchy of impact here. What we do about the things we care about matters infinitely more than what we just say we believe. Action, that is the ultimate expression of your character. Okay, now for one final thought. And this one is, well, it's a bit of a mind bender. This whole architecture we've built, which started with elbows and pizza, ends up looking at the very nature of what it means to be you. You're an ecosystem of 30 trillion individual cells. Do you think they're aware of the you they create together? And this is the big, provocative question we're left with. If all your cells can come together to form you, without any of them knowing it, well, what larger consciousness might you be a part of, without being aware of it? It's a thought that kind of reframes everything, leaving us with this sense of wonder and a whole new architecture for how we see ourselves in the universe.